New video for you tonight right here showing the dangers of starting fires to keep warm in the winter weather. You can see the moment a man in New Albany set a dumpster on fire to keep warm, but then something went wrong. The incident happened on the corner of 15th and Spring Street. The noise from the fire woke up New Albany's Stephen Miller this morning, along with the rest of his family. WHAS11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Addie Hill spoke with Miller, who hopes his backyard fire serves as a call to action for others.
The scene father of four, Stephen Miller, woke up to this morning in New Albany.
Our fence is on fire. I see neighbors coming out.
Is singed into his memory now.
And we didn't know what happened. We didn't know where it was.
It all started around 6 Wednesday morning with a sound loud enough to wake up the whole house.
It was loud. It hurt our ears. It shook the whole house.
The explosion caught on Miller's backyard camera. He says neighbors help him put it out before first responders get there.
And I just see flames.
Take a look outside in his backyard by Wednesday afternoon.
My kids have a little play kitchen back there. It had been on fire. It melted down.
You see the remnants of that fire. But to call it a tragedy,
And I told him, I said, I'm not really worried about my fence. I'm not worried about my kids' toys.
would be looking at it the wrong way.
I think the tragedy of the whole situation is that there was somebody sleeping outside last night. Most of us were in our beds. It was warm, and somebody was just trying to warm themselves. And I just thank God that he wasn't near the dumpster when it exploded.
Another person struggling to find housing, looking for heat anywhere they can find it. A similar story played out underneath this I-64 overpass about a month ago in Louisville, except the encampment fire here cost a man his life.
These people are humans, and they're not talked about like they're human. It's a problem.
It's an issue bringing Miller to tears, one he says he's thought about more and more lately.
If a concerted effort, if our energy, our intelligence, our resources were pooled, we could make a huge difference in this town.
He hopes his backyard fire can serve as a greater call to action in the community.
And I'm convinced that the majority of the people in our town want to help the most vulnerable in our community.
Call it a rude awakening or a great awakening. Steve Miller says what happened to him Wednesday morning will stick with him. He just hopes others feel the same. In New Albany, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 1119, on your side.
It is the time of year when the temperatures drop and Operation White Flag goes into effect. This happens when the wind chill drops below 35 degrees. During this time, many shelters will fly a white flag outside, signaling they're open for anyone to come inside. In New Albany, the shelter is at the Culbertson Baptist Church on Grant Line Road. Meanwhile, here in Louisville, I-64 was shut down for several hours as officials investigated damage caused by a nearby fire this morning. Sky 11 drone video right here shows inspectors investigating the overpass. You can see the soot climbing up the side. The damage was caused by a fire at a vacant building on 16th and Northwestern Parkway. Louisville Fire responded to the massive fire just before 5 this morning. Video from fire officials show the fire reaching over the overpass. Fire officials tell us it took 45 firefighters about an hour to bring the fire under control. Kentucky transportation officials say there was some minor damage to a pad on a redundant column, but that the overpass was structurally sound. No one was injured in the blaze this morning, and Louisville Fire is working to determine the cause of the fire. Developing here for you tonight, LMPD has confirmed the passing of one of their officers. Police officer Mark Cordes suffered a medical emergency while off duty earlier this evening. LMPD confirmed a police escort transported Cordes from a Bullitt County to Baptist East. Cordes was hired by LMPD back in 1991 and then retired from the department. He was rehired in 2017 and worked in LMPD's 5th Division. LMPD is asking the community to keep his family in their thoughts and prayers. In our city, there's a lot of time and attention focused on homicide numbers, but there's another side to violence in Louisville. There have been more than 400 non-fatal shootings in 2023. 97% of those shooting survivors go to U of L Hospital. Today, we spoke with health workers who help connect these survivors to resources to help them recover mentally from the trauma of being shot.
So some of that looks like providing mental health support services, and then we're able to refer out to our community partners so that they can provide more support, whether that is housing insecurities, whether that is mitigating any type of retaliation that may come about.
According to U of L Health, the Violence Intervention Program has seen a lot of growth over the years. When the program first began, only 5% of patients accepted services, and as of today, that number of patients has grown to 60%. After a tragic case outside Indianapolis, lawmakers are proposing a new bill to require safely stored guns. Indiana State Representative Mitch Gore is behind the bill, saying he crafted the bill after a 4-year-old was accidentally shot and killed by her 5-year-old brother. He said it would make it a crime if a gun isn't safely locked up if you know a child will be home. He's brought items like this to the floor the past 2 years, and they have failed both times. The Louisville Cardinals are currently in San Diego taking on USC in the Holiday Bowl. It's been an extremely successful first season at Louisville for head coach and Louisville native Jeff Brom. Brom led the Cardinals to their first ever ACC title berth, and now he has a chance to give the Cardinals an 11-win series. It's first since 2013. Fans we spoke with say they're excited for the program's future.
I mean, the atmosphere is a lot better. Changing of coaches just brought a lot more morale up. It's fun to go to the games. It's fun to come to places like this and watch the games.
Oh, it's nothing but a bright future with Brom as head coach. I mean, you can tell that man loves his team.
And coming up later in sports, we'll have an update and highlights for you on the game. We're hearing from the man who is recovering after he was trapped in his crashed truck for 6 days. Police say 27-year-old Matthew Ream survived by drinking rainwater. Fishermen found the wreck under an I-94 overpass Tuesday as they were scouting for fishing spots. Today, Memorial Hospital, where Ream is being treated, released a statement on his behalf. They say he is still in critical condition and has asked for privacy while he heals and processes everything he's endured since last Wednesday. He ends by saying, quote, "No matter how tough things get, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes in the least expected way." The fishermen who found him say he was awake and very happy to see them after he was finally found.
He tried yelling and screaming, but nobody would hear him. It was just quiet, just the sound of the water. He had a jacket almost like mine, and all I seen was this part, the shoulder, and I went to touch the shoulder, and the moment I touched the shoulder, he swung around. He woke up.
Indiana State Police say this shows the importance of always telling at least one person when you're traveling and where you're going. They also say to keep an emergency kit in your car. The newly opened downtown location of Derby City Gaming is doing their part to help draw people to neighboring businesses. Tonight, they sponsored a free community day at the Frasier Museum. The museum stayed open for extended hours tonight with free admission and free bourbon tastings. People there tell us today's event shows a community working together to better the area.
And then all of the trees that you see here tonight were generously sponsored by an organization, a small business, or a company in Louisville. And I think it's important to really remember that we can all do something collectively together to do amazing things for youth in our city.
Today's event was the last free event at the Frasier Museum this year, but museum officials do tell us they hope to do more of these in the new year. A new restaurant moved into a very recognizable building along Bardstown Road. Beyond the Sun Restaurant and Lounge is opening at the old Mellow Mushroom building, which sat vacant for nearly 5 years. Anna Medina does public relations for the lounge, and she says the owner worked his way up from serving at Solas Tecas for 7 years. The new business wants to lean into their lounge status with live music and cocktails. She hopes it brings different kinds of people to Bardstown Road.
We love Bardstown Road. Every night we would go out, walk down the street, and we always saw this building and we saw the potential in it, and we always wondered how was it possible that it was closed, being such a different building and so contemporary.
In 2018, the Mellow Mushroom Pizza restaurant at that location closed abruptly, and since then, no business has taken over the unique building. Today, volunteers helped hand out food to families who need a little more help this holiday season.
Oh, well, thank you, hon.
It's part of the Feed the West kiosk, which gives out free groceries to anyone who needs it. The organization Change Today, Change Tomorrow puts it on. Volunteers like Sharika Smith say there's no requirements needed to be eligible for help.
Used to know that if you feed one family, you're helping somebody. And as you see, there's a lot of people out here today. So, and we do this at least 3 or 4 days a week. So if you can feed one family, you're going to feed at least 20.
Smith says most of the groceries come from Trader Joe's, which provides fresh organic groceries. Another giveaway will be held tomorrow at noon at 717 South 24th Street.